Welcome to Final Verdict. I'm Bell.
I'm Jamie.
And I'm Adam.
And this week, it's Jamie's pick.
Yeah, buddy.
Jamie, what do we listen to? We waited a week.
Yeah.
We switched to CDs. We switched back. It's a vinyl record, and it's
Peter Gabriel's Soul, his 5th studio album.
You said that very Canadian.
Soul.
Or like
Soul.
Minnesotan.
For sure, dude.
It was like a 2-syllable so.
Soul. It's his 5th studio album. Peter Gabriel was previously a member of Genesis, who we've covered. What did
Genesis.
Genesis.
That was our second episode of season 2.
Yeah, we covered The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, which is the last album he recorded with Genesis before leaving to do his solo career. He released 4 self-titled albums before the record company said, you can't do that for a 5th time.
He said, so?
And so he said, basically he Geffen Records said that they wouldn't release a self-titled album. He was previously on Atco and some other.
Honestly, I'm on Geffen's side. I don't like it when an artist makes all of their albums the same name.
Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they stopped doing that after 4. The next one is called Houses
Was
of
it
the
Led
Holy.
Zeppelin 3? Led Zeppelin, but Led Zeppelin had Led Zeppelin. Then they had Led Zeppelin 2.
Yeah.
Then they had Led Zeppelin 3.
And
then it was Untitled.
Yeah, Runes or whatever. Yeah.
But like, at least there was 1, 2, 3. I don't mind that. It does get confusing when you're Chicago and there's like 57 Chicago albums.
I own Chicago 13 or 14 or whatever.
But
yeah,
as long as it's clearly labeled on the front that it's the 4th one, it's cool. But they were all just Peter Gabriel and then like a picture.
Yeah, so I own all of those. They have all posthumously. Well, I don't know, posthumously, like post-release.
Is he dead?
Oh, okay.
No,
I was
he's
like,
not,
he
yeah.
released these. He died. They released 5 albums, and then they said that you have to.
Then they shot him.
Then they told his soul. They told the spirit of Peter Gabriel, "Listen, you can't keep releasing albums of the same name.
You can't keep getting away with this." So what they have done since then for streaming is that they've called those first 4
That's
albums
so funny.
names.
Just whatever is on the cover.
Car, Melt,
Scratch.
and
Security.
Security
That's
doesn't
so
make
funny.
any sense. Actually, Security does.
Security is scary.
Security is scary.
It's a very scary cover.
It
Car.
looks kinda
All
funny.
those covers are designed by Hypnosis, whom we have talked about multiple times because they've done covers for like Ween's the Mollusk. So
That's it.
Wish You Were Here.
every Pink Floyd album.
Every Pink Floyd album. Yes.
Oh, that
correct.
dude. What's his name?
Hypnosis.
Stormthorn?
Storm Thurgeson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harrison.
And yeah.
Thorgan? They probably did a cover for George Harrison. You could almost like just. They did so many covers. Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, Paul McCartney and Wings. Yes, Genesis.
We've gone through all the names before. Listen to a prior episode. I guess Ween is the most recent one. Or Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Where we've gone through his whole list. It is truly insane.
Yeah, he's done most of the. Did he do Breakfast in America? Probably.
And his
Who knows?
best cover. So
No, he didn't do so. Anyway, so they did the first 4. I don't remember who did this one. This is literally a Polaroid of Peter Gabriel.
It's a good photo of him.
It is a good photo, and
like
it's
the font,
impressive that it's taken out from a Polaroid.
it's true. It's very sharp.
But anyway, some of the songs on this one are played by musicians that have worked with Peter Gabriel before. So, for example, Tony Levin has worked with him before on stuff.
Who's Tony Levin?
Tony Levin is the bass player from the second incarnation of King Crimson.
Oh, yes.
So after the band reconvened following, what was the name of the album we just covered? Red. In 1981.
He played on their 80s incarnation.
Yeah, he played on every one of their albums in the 80s. Yeah.
Like
Tony Levin.
Discipline and Beats.
Yeah.
Beat.
Some good albums.
Discipline's a great album.
Yes.
Love Discipline.
The producer on this album, Daniel, is it Daniel Lanois or is it Daniel Lanois? I don't know. I didn't bother looking.
That's
it up.
lost to time.
Yeah, he's still alive. Anyway, I believe it's Daniel Lanois. He plays guitar on it. He's also the producer of the album. And then a name you may recognize, Stuart Copeland, plays
of the Police.
Plays drums on one song and hi-hat on another.
Well, just the hi-hat is so funny.
Yeah, it's really weird.
We'll talk about it more when we
song
get there.
credit on here, but yeah, he but the drummer on most of the album is Jerry Murata. And then there's some other drums by Manu Katché who plays things like congas and stuff like that. Like some of the more exotic sounding percussion is played by him on this album. And then Peter Gabriel, if you look at his credits, he plays just about everything. So any keyed instrument is pretty much played by Peter Gabriel, including all the synthesizers and all the piano work and all that stuff. And there's a clavier, a synclavier on it. But the personnel list on there is longer than the track list by 30. So there's a lot of people that have had their hands in there. Nile Rodgers, the guitarist that appeared on, well, he's appeared on bazillions of albums, but he most recently Are
you gonna say Random Access Memories?
Yeah, I'm thinking Random Access Memories. He plays on Get Lucky on that and some other tracks, but he's had a late career resurgence playing on albums like that. But anyway, this album came out in 1986. It was recorded somewhere between February and December of 1985, and took a number of stops along the way. At one point, he went to visit Brazil to discover more rhythms, and that appears on one of the tracks. It's 9 tracks. It's 41 minutes and 56 seconds.
They loved doing that back in this era, hey?
Yeah.
It's like world music was just so prevalent.
It had a huge moment culturally.
Yeah.
In the 80s. Like you see...
Even Michael Jackson does a song where he goes to Brazil and like the favelas and does all this stuff. Like,
yeah, and
it was
like
always
Graceland by Paul Simon. And it was also the era of the like a World Health... like or
We Are
the charity
the World.
single and like the kind of fight for AIDS would have started in the late 80s, awareness and stuff like that.
Yeah. This album is considered sort of a landmark of the 80s. Even though it came out sort of in the mid to late 80s, its sound is, I don't know, celebrated, I guess is a good way. For example, its music videos have won more awards than any other music video at the MTV Music Awards. It's a record that will probably never be beaten. So the video for Sledgehammer won 9 awards at the same award show.
It's a cool music video.
It is a cool as shit music video, dude. It's 5 minutes or almost 6 minutes of stop motion animation. It is incredible. It was put on rotation basically like once an hour at one point on MTV. But it
would have been early, right? It was still kind of early music video era.
Yeah, so MTV launched in 1981. And so that would have been like 5 years into so music videos were hot.
It's still similar. It's kind of how Talking Heads, what is it? Letting the days go by.
Once in a Lifetime.
Once in a Lifetime.
You may ask yourself.
Was only really became a hit because it was like one of the first songs to have a music video. So it was on MTV constantly because they only had so many music videos to show in a day.
Yeah, so it was on heavy rotation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a good song? I don't know.
It's
you may ask
song.
yourself.
You may find yourself listening
to
Talking Heads.
Yeah.
In your beautiful house with your beautiful wife.
You may ask yourself, Belle, did you enjoy this album?
I don't know if I enjoyed it. It did remind me a lot of other stuff from this era or things maybe I associate with this era, including like the Police. And I don't know if it really struck me or stayed with me enough to make me like want to go back and listen to it. I think there are a lot of cool sounds. Like he's a great singer. but it just didn't land. And it's kind of like the problem I had with Genesis, which ended up in the 25th spot last season, where it's like, yeah, there are some good songs here, but like overall, I don't know if it really resonated with me. I was excited to check out the album because Sledgehammer is obviously a banger, but that was pretty much the only reason. But one thing I do have to give it credit to is that the songs are on the longer side, but none of them feel long. I don't think there's any songs where I noted down like this felt long. Things feel very dynamic, but I just feel like they all had a similar vibe, and so it made it hard for any of them to stick out, other than Sledgehammer. So I guess I'm excited to hear what you guys think and what you guys like about it, and maybe it'll make me feel differently about it. But I think at this point, it's like I'd rather listen to Tears for Fears. I'd rather listen to Police. I'd rather listen to Michael Jackson. I'd rather listen to anything else in the 80s that I feel like encapsulates that feeling for me. But I also don't have a lot of experience with the 80s, so maybe that's why. It's just pure inexperience. And I also, some things I feel like tropes, but then maybe they are early here. I don't really know. Yeah, I'm also not a huge fan of the worldly stuff that gets added in some of the tracks.
Yeah. I to an extent, world music was novel at the time, but is somewhat overdone by the end of the 80s. Mm-hmm. So this album was nominated for Album of the Year. It lost to Paul Simon's Graceland, which is full of world music. It is also a great album that has Call Me Al on it. Adam and I were talking about that the other day, or earlier rather. I like this album. I don't think everything on it is a banger, but I do think some of the songs hit pretty good. There's some real funky bass work on it. But yeah, it's one of those songs that is reminiscent of a time because it is of a time. Mm-hmm. Adam, you may ask yourself, what did you find about this album?
This album's freaking awesome.
Yeah,
this album's so goddamn good. I'm surprised that you said that you found it was not varied, because I think that's one of the most interesting things about the album is that it's honestly, unlike a lot of pop albums that feel like a collection of songs, this is like an interesting album. There's a lot of variance in terms of slow ballads, atmospheric sonic experimentation, while also having some like really, really potent and powerful pop tunes like Sledgehammer, Big Time, Red Rain. Front to back, I think this album's like honestly stunning. From the production to the performances across the album. The only track that I didn't like on the album, I found out was a digital only version.
Yeah, it wasn't actually on.
This is the picture Excellent Birds. That song sucks. And it's not on the album, actually.
Yeah.
Which is amazing, because that means that I don't have to have a song on this album that I don't like. Yeah, I was really excited. I have never really spent that much time with Peter Gabriel or Genesis, even. I've listened to, like, Yes, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Tarkus, a lot of the other kind of proggy greats.
Yeah.
But never really dabbled much with Genesis or Peter Gabriel. I've listened to his first album because Jamie, you gave that album to me.
Yeah.
Maybe a little over a year ago now, and I found it quite enjoyable. So I was excited to come and visit this, and I am absolutely blown away by it. It's such a cool album, and I can't wait to give it one last listen.
Why don't we do that?
Red Rain.
Yeah, this song's kind of interesting. So it has both real drums played by Jerry Murata and then programmed drums, which are programmed by or played by Chris Hughes. So it has both fake drums and real drums, and they're both playing two different parts.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. The producer Daniel Lanois plays guitar on the song, Stuart Copeland plays just the hi-hat.
This is so funny. So how did that come about?
Okay, so my understanding is that they wanted a very specific hi-hat sound to it, so they asked him to just whack the hi-hat at
I thought he
specific
played
time.
I thought he played the whole song,
No,
but they just only kept the hi-hat from his takes.
no, he just hit the hi-hat.
They got that Copeland hi-hat.
Yeah, because they really liked the way his hi-hat sounded on other albums, so they asked him to just play the hi-hat. Tony Levin, of course, plays bass on this one. The bass is pretty good on this one. It sounds very crisp. His voice is very kind of soulful. I guess it's the best way. Like Peter Gabriel has a voice that you either take it or leave it kind of thing. I particularly enjoy the way he sounds. Some people may not. But the song references a dream he had where he was swimming in his pool, but the pool was full of red wine. And then another dream where people in the shape of bottles were falling off a cliff, and when they hit the bottom, red wine poured out of them. What does that mean?
I feel like I don't have as creative dreams as other people or something. Because people say that I had these dreams. I'm like, this is crazy. I've never.
Do you just dream in shapes?
No.
My nephew dreams in
color
shapes.
forms?
What?
But I had a bad dream and it was like sharp shapes.
Oh,
He's like a Kiki and Booba.
I don't know what the heck that is. But
It's a linguistic thing.
Sure. And I also have a cousin that has no imagination. She doesn't have dreams at all, and like can't imagine anything.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I dream extremely vividly, but I have not dreamed that people break into red wine.
No, like I have like vivid dreams, but they're always very reality
It
based.
was about kissing me.
Yeah. I told you that in confidence.
Yeah, I like the 80s feel of this one. Even just like the progression of the song feels very of the time in a very endearing way. The drums sound amazing. The bass slapping deep in the background is A+. The little instrumental break at 240 where the bass gets a little chance to shine is also good. I think Peter Gabriel's voice is cool. I think it gets a chance to shine pretty brightly here. I don't think it's the most interesting song vocally, though, even though the chorus is catchy enough. It's one that I've enjoyed listening to, but every time I listen to it again, I like it a little less. It's just so cinematic that I'm like, I don't feel the need to really listen to it.
yeah. It's so one of the songs that we really liked from The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway was the Carpet Crawlers.
Oh, so good. That and Cocoon.
Yeah.
So good.
So like he has a really so he wasn't always the songwriter in Genesis albums. That was primarily the guitarist and the bass player, I want to say, or maybe it was the other guitarist, because Genesis had two guitarists. They were the primary songwriters at one point. But his imagination on this one is kind of interesting.
He has a beautiful mind.
Yeah, he's got just like Adam over there. Adam, what'd you think?
Beautiful mind full of kissing Jake.
Oh my!
I think this song. What an incredible soundscape that this song has. The production on this entire album is next level.
Yes.
It's amazing that I can hear every single instrument, even when they're quiet. There's so many little hints and secrets on this track, and that's true for the rest of the album, where you'll have stuff where he'll be like, what if we just threw in this like weird chant at the end, like just as it's fading out. I love, as you guys have both pointed out, the drums. Incredible sound on this. It's absolutely huge. I love the like pained vocals and the dark subject matter. While also being just such a groovy freaking track with that like awesome bass tone. It's a great way to kick off the album. Definitely, I think, one of, if not the best tracks on the album. Like, it's a great way to start. And to follow that up immediately with Sledgehammer?
It's kind of a tonal shift.
Holy hell, what a 1-2 punch is the opening. Of course it's a tonal shift. This whole album is tonal shifts. Yeah. I love this. And like to come up with Sledgehammer and you get that cool little that's just apparently a digital thing.
Yeah, it's a digital it's a fake
It's a digital do.
Yeah, it's digital do, really. It is the digital representation of a Japanese flute whose name is
something like a hakuhachi or something.
Something
It's
like
for
that.
I went to a concert of traditional Japanese music and I learned nothing from the educational sections apparently. Shakuhachi.
Shakuhachi. Yeah,
It's a bamboo flute.
Yes. The song was so we're talking about Sledgehammer now. The song was the last recorded for the album. The musicians were packing up to leave when Gabriel presented it to them. So they were like,
what about a song about a penis?
He gave it.
We're going to sing about my penis for a while now and how I'm going to have sex with people. It's like, okay.
The video for the song won 9 MTV Video Awards at the 1987 VMAs.
Okay, I'm going to say it. I'm going to cut you off because I have to say it. We've talked about this song before on the Hot Singles in Your Area episode for Best Singles. The music video is not that good.
No, it's great.
It's not that good. I watched it. You guys, everyone's pumped it up. Even I was talking to a friend of the podcast, Bjorn, at work.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, Sledgehammer, great music video. And I said, oh, I guess. Like, I don't know if it's that good. I mean, he moves around too much, so like all of the stop motion's kind of blurry, like when it's him. He's also not a good dancer, and then there's just sections where he's just dancing, like it's not stop motion at all. The claymation was very impressive, though. Everything outside the claymation,
honestly,
I was
once
like,
you get past the part where the train goes around his head, which is the very first thing, you kind of see the coolest part of the whole video.
And then he's just like dancing with all the go-go like I guess I don't know if they're go-go dancers, but dancing with all the dancers in the house, and I was like, what is this? And it's still like kind of stop motion, so it's just blurry because he's just dancing. I was like, this stinks.
It was wildly influential for the time because of the limitations of technology.
What is it called when you're no longer in the time and you're reviewing it?
You are
contemporary.
Yeah, you're no longer contemporary to.
This is what is this then? This is not a contemporary review. It's a
retrospective.
Yeah, this retrospective. That music video is not that good. we have better music videos now.
Well, of course we do. This was revolutionary in 1986. The video for Money for Nothing was revolutionary in 1984 5.
That's still pretty cool, man.
Okay, so in context, the video for Money for Nothing, which is a Dire Straits song, was one of the first computer animated videos of all time. It cost like a fortune.
That music video is also awesome, and it's so funny to watch.
Block people are delivering TVs and installing microwave ovens.
Listen, once it gets to be as good as Californication, we'll talk.
It was basically the Californication.
I gotta say, that video is so funny to watch because it also aged horribly.
The video game characters?
It looks so bad. It's also the lowest resolution video I've ever seen.
100%.
Anyways, the song is good, but the music video, I gotta get it out there.
The fretless bass on this track is insane.
Yes,
so sick. The tone, again, absolutely incredible. And the way that the guitar counterplays with the bass line is really cool with this like kind of plucked, super funky little rhythm. And I think one of the cool things is just how rhythmic so much of this album is. I know that on previous albums, like Peter Gabriel played a lot with rhythm. And he said that one of his focuses for this album was to move away from that and work on writing songs. And this succeeds so well. And he's got this like this soulful tone to it. Everything about this song slaps. And it's horny as hell, and I respect it.
Yeah. He's whatever Sledgehammer is. The song was nominated for Record and Song of the Year and Best Male Rock Performance at the Grammys of the next year. I don't believe it won any of the awards. But the song is Peter Gabriel's only #1 hit. Interestingly enough, it replaced Genesis' Invisible Touch at #1, which was his former band.
Yeah, I think I pretty much just echo a lot of what Adam said. It is quite good. I'll say some of the notes I had from our season 1 episode on Hot Singles because they're still relevant. I feel the same way. The chorus singing that comes in the later half of the song and the instrumental singing build up towards the end, both fantastic. I really like the added vocals. So good. I also feel like the song would fit in the Goofy movie. I am not wrong, and I am not taking any questions.
You're totally. I get it.
I understand why Jamie owns 12 copies of this single.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Why do you own 12 copies of the single?
I don't. I own 2 copies. I own the 7-inch single, which is backed with.
Listen, did you lie 2 years ago? Because that's a note I have down is that you own 12 copies of
I
this.
do not own 12 copies.
Wow, you lied to me 2 years ago.
Did I?
I guess so.
The single
Because he
version.
gave 10 of them to me. I own 10 singles of Sledgehammer.
And then I wrote down, "I really makes me wish I was a white guy in 1986."
Yes.
Because I bet they friggin' jammed out to this song.
Yes. The B side of this single is "Don't Break This Rhythm," which we'll talk about later. But I own the 12-inch dance remix of it. The dance remix is weird and very 80s. And it's also like 12 minutes long. And then the B side of that one is "I Have the Touch" and Biko. Don't know anything about that. This single was released almost we're in 2025, so it was almost 40 years ago. It was released April 14th, 1986, 39 years ago, almost, whenever this album or this episode comes out. But great song. I really like it. They're the background singers. I forget who they are. Oh, P.P. Arnold is one of the back. Okay, so P.P. Arnold.
We're so immature, man.
Arnold.
P.P. Arnold. P.P. Arnold was a
his brother Poo Poo Arnold.
It's a she. She was a soul singer. She did a cover of the what is it? The First Cut is the Deepest. It's a really good cover. But she's one of those people that are featured in that documentary, 5 Feet from Stardom, because she was a famous background singer.
Because her name was PP.
Because her name is P.P. Arnold. I'm sorry we made fun of your name. You were
She
good.
chose
PP.
Yeah.
She didn't have to go by PP.
I think it's
What is P short for?
Patricia.
What about
What
the
if
second
what if
P?
it was something like? Could it be possibly worse than PP?
Patricia.
PP is short for Poo Poo.
It's Patricia. Yeah.
What's the second P?
Patricia.
It's literally his stage name. Her real name is Patricia Ann Cole. Let me
So
get
she chose to go. I don't
Wait,
feel bad.
her last name is Ankle?
Arnold.
PP ankle.
Oh,
You-
Patricia
don't you hate it when you-
Ann Cole.
PP Ankle.
Pissing in the woods and
You're
he
getting.
hit the tree a little wrong.
This is-
Get the PP ankle.
This is why we can't have a nice podcast. And then the next song is "Don't Give Up," featuring our friend Kate Bush.
This song's kind of spooky.
Yeah.
I don't. It's
Spooky.
crazy that people are like, "You saved my life" with this song. He's just like, "Oh, please
You
don't kill
have
yourself.
friends.
Please don't kill yourself." I think Kate Bush's singing is just a little spooky.
She's
kinda-
a
she's
spooky looking
ethereal.
lady in like real life anyway.
And the bridge too, like especially spooky.
Her voice is ethereal and kind of weird. She became she rose again to prominence recently
Stranger Things.
because of Stranger Things. Yeah.
I'm running up that hill.
Running Up That Hill, which is a weird song as well with a weird bass or drum line.
Cool synth though.
Yes. This song was inspired by Peter Gabriel looking at a book of Depression era photographs by the photographer Dorothea Lange. She took photos
A
for
migrant mother.
What's that?
The migrant mother or whatever.
Yeah, she took that photo. Yeah, that's a great picture. She took pictures of people for the Farm Services Administration of like people leaving the Dust Bowl in the 30s. So like people who had lost everything, and she took these beautiful like very emotive photographs in the 30s. Anyway, but yeah, it was inspired by that and not about like a suicide prevention song, which it is somewhat become known as.
So instead, he looked at old photos, like, "Don't give up, people in these photos."
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, I like the synths or electric strings or whatever the main instrument is that has it has a really nice sound to it. Very soothing. Makes me never want to give up. And I love the random little bass section at the end of the song.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, the bass solo is
the
great.
jam. You're like, whoa, okay.
Okay.
It's super intense. Like compared to the rest of the song, it's like such a deep bass noise.
It just comes out of nowhere.
This was released as a single as well. It spent 11 weeks in the UK top 75 chart, and it peaked at number 9.
And it's like also at the ending, there's that cool like, that's where there's like these extra synth strikes, and there's like the never give like really, really quiet
Yeah.
soul samples with the backup singers. And I also appreciate that there's like that kind of soulful country vibe that comes in with the pianos. It's a very slow burn of a track, but I think a few of the tracks in here are quite slow burns, but they're all propped up by the beautiful, beautiful ambience and ethereal soundscapes that are underneath them.
The song is 6 minutes and 32 seconds long.
And it does not feel like it.
No. This has been covered by many artists. So there's a version with Willie Nelson and Sinead O'Connor, which is a wild.
It's kind of a weird song. Like, it's weird how like the Kate Bush part does not like really fit in with the part with like the Peter Gabriel part that comes out immediately after. It's very, as I said, like this manages to be like both a accessible pop album without ever giving up how interesting of a songwriter Peter Gabriel can be.
Yeah, I won't disagree that but the bass solo, jeez. There's also a version of this song by Alicia Keys and Bono, because reasons.
I don't want to listen to that.
No, I don't want to listen to that either.
But I wouldn't want to listen to that voice again. But I would want to listen to that voice again, unless Jamie had more to say about
Nope. That voice again was originally titled The First Stone and was written for the soundtrack to the Martin Scorsese film The Last Temptation of Christ, which came out in 1989, but was
is not a Jesus song.
No, it was originally about Psalm something or other, or like a line from
Psalm something or other.
Or it's literally like the original lyrics are about like he who cast the first stone, blah blah blah. Anyway, the Last Temptation of Christ was supposed to film in 1981, and then it was delayed until 1989. But Peter Gabriel did the soundtrack to that movie at the request of Martin Scorsese, and the soundtrack for that album was Peter Gabriel's 1989 album called Passions. It's a pretty good movie. It's probably the best movie where Jesus lives at the end. So in the movie, like, Jesus doesn't die.
It's not about him dying.
It's not about him dying.
It's not about the Passion of the Christ. It's about him being in the desert.
No,
right?
he dies as an old man in the movie. Like he doesn't go. He like someone takes him down off the cross and he lives to be an old man.
Wow, the good ending.
He gets the good ending. Yeah. Anyway, this
Christ
song went to number 14. It was a promo single. The only real interesting fact, other than this was originally written for that soundtrack, was around at about the 3 minute and 50-second mark. He sustains the last note on the "Only Love Can Make Love" line for over 10 seconds, which I thought was very impressive.
10 seconds?
I mean, I don't think I could sing
for 10 seconds.
Yeah,
that's not that long, JB.
That's pretty long in that song.
What's that? I know. That's 15 seconds.
And like the monkey wrench, Dave Grohl, the one last thing before 10 seconds is not that long, man.
Yeah, but he's just doing one note.
Can he count?
That's
to
not
10?
that hard.
Count to 10 in one breath.
I don't think I could.
Like, and I could go on.
Well, Peter Gabriel did for 10 seconds.
That's for the Patreon cut.
I'm just saying
yeah, you know what? I'll share some thoughts.
Okay. That's all I have to say about that.
I like how crisp the whole song is. It's a little fatiguing because it like is quite crisp, but it's a very neat sound. I'm not sure why we need a spooky section from 2:45 to around 3:20, but it's solid. I enjoyed the song though.
I need the spooky section. I love it. It's so cool.
It's so interesting. It's just like I'm gonna be all spooky.
The cool percussive hits, the like kind of. It's like kind of like a detuned upright piano kind of sound, but it's really just a synth.
Yeah.
And then it comes back into the like, I wanna be close. Oh, and the double tracked vocals and the harmonies. This song's so cool. It's so cool. Hear their voice again.
Oh, he's playing a 12-string guitar.
That's a 12-string guitar?
Apparently. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's a weird sounding 12-string guitar.
I mean, like most of everything on this album, very heavily processed.
Yes. There is a piano though. And then like 4 different synths. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I think he's just like the 12-string guitar, and it's mostly the piano.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that. That's
Yeah.
a cool sound.
yeah,
That's
and
a
then
cool sound.
L. Shankar plays the violin on this one. So there's like a little violin on there. So that's cool. I like this song. It's pretty good. It's one of the shortest songs on the album. It's 4.5 minutes long and it's short. And then we flip her over and we get In Your Eyes.
Yeah, note that it's different from the digital release.
Yeah, so it is the number one song on side B because its bass track is so wide that there was not enough room on the inner ring. So on the CD release, it is the last track. It is the closeout of the album.
Yeah, and that was the intention.
Yes, Peter
I
Gabriel.
find that crazy. I
Really?
kind of like it ending with "We Do What We're Told."
I see how both work. I think that In Your Eyes is a cool triumphant end to the album. And to me, I feel like what We Do What We're Told almost peters out at the end in a way that I don't know if I would find fully satisfying at the end of an album. But it would definitely, it's better. Those are both. If you were going to choose two ending tracks from this album, I think that those would be the two ones.
Yeah, I don't disagree. In Your Eyes is kind of an interesting song. I really like the way all the instrumentation kind of comes together, especially at the end where it all comes sort of like to a head. Yeah, got your hands up.
Is this the radio song?
What?
Oh yeah, it's in
Does
Say
it say
Anything.
anything?
Oh, you're right. I forgot it's in that movie. Yeah, it's in Say Anything. That's the one he's he's playing on his shoulders, like John Cusack with his arms up with the boombox.
I've never seen that movie.
You never seen
But
that
you know
movie?
the
You've seen the
picture. You know
meme
the
though.
picture.
Like
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. There used to be a bot on Twitter that would take whatever song you wanted and have John Cusack come out and like play that. It was really good. And then they banned Twitter bots and Twitter went downhill. This is 2015.
Oh,
Yeah.
they shut out the Twitter, I am publicly a Twitter bots, and now they only have the Russian spy bots.
Yeah, they got rid of the good ones. They got rid of the one that takes Blade Runner quotes and makes them attributes them to Ice-T from Law and Order. That was so good.
Anyways, In Your Eyes.
In Your Eyes. Appears as
Incredible
track 5
song.
on the vinyl and track 9 on the CD release. The prominent bass line had to be on the outer ring so that the needle had enough room to vibrate.
Yeah, it's a good song. It's solid. I don't really have any crazy feelings about it. I love the tone of the guitar or
Yeah,
whatever
the
that
guitar's
is.
so
It's
good.
so good.
The song went to number 1 on the mainstream rock chart and number 26 on the Billboard Hot 100. And then at the end, we get vocals from the Senegalese. Oh man, I'm terrible at this. I'm gonna butcher
Senegalese
this
Youth Choir?
No, this fella, Youssou N'Dour. Oh man, I'm gonna butcher
That's
that
okay.
one. I'm very sorry.
That's
everyone.
good enough.
Who
don't think you'll hear it.
translated lines from the song into his native tongue at the end of the song. So I'm really
we got through that sentence. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I have been up since 6:30 this morning. I'm very sorry, everyone.
That's
6:30? 6:30 is not even
That's
early.
not impressive, James.
I've been up since
He's going to choose an earlier number now.
I've been up since 6:30
I'm very
last
tired,
morning.
so, it is somewhat late now.
Without the for context, Jamie's had very little sleep this week,
Thank you.
and we're say it.
No,
and that's
yeah,
why he wasn't.
He's got a normal amount of sleep. Adam's just covering for him.
Yeah, that's why he's acting like waking up at 6:30 is crazy, because he was staying up,
I showed up at work at 6:30. So
Yeah.
anyway,
and he doesn't sleep till 2 ever.
yeah.
He says, "I'm an adult. I ain't going to bed before 2."
Listen, I subscribe to Jamie's newsletter. I don't need these updates. I want to talk about Peter Gabriel.
I didn't know you had a Substack. In Your Eyes.
I'm on Medium.
I
now.
think this is I love how the again the Senegalese song comes in aspect comes at the end. It's really cool and almost kind of doesn't quite mesh for a second at the start in a way that's really intriguing. and then it locks back in really quickly.
Yeah, sorry. What I was trying to get across in words a few minutes ago was that the lines that he is singing
are translated
from
they're the same lyrics in a different language.
Yeah, in a different language. Thank you.
Yeah.
Continue on with your thought there, young fella.
Yeah, I think this is such a great mix of the percussion, the catchy hit, the in your eyes chant. It's a beautiful, beautiful pop ballad. And the I reach out from the inside. What a line.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a cool moment every time it comes up.
In your eyes.
I love this track. And then we followed up with another. Oh, do you have thoughts on that, Bell? I feel like you didn't say
already shared. But next we get the sequel to Baker Street, Mercy Street.
That's getting cut. It sucks so good. I want to cover that album, but like the only good song on it is Baker Street.
Baker Street's such a funny song because the chorus is a banger that goes, "I'm waiting down on Baker Street." It's like so random, and then the best sax solo of all time.
The best part is that the sax solo is followed up with a really good guitar solo that gets caught out on the radio version. Anyway,
but neither of these things are
Mercy Street is bracketed on the album release for Anne Sexton, the poet, whose poetry was turned into the song for this particular song.
She wrote the lyrics?
She wrote, well, yeah, she doesn't get an album credit though. So her poet Mercy Street is basically quoted word for word on this one.
Well, it's a little boring.
Is it public domain?
No,
that's crazy.
So Peter Gabriel had just narrated.
Did you say Peter Gabriel?
Sorry, Gabriel. Sorry, reading Peter Gabriel. Peter Gabriel had just narrated a book of poetry, like the audiobook for her. So I don't know if there was like some
probably a little straight handoff.
Yeah.
What? When? They had audiobooks in 1986?
Dude, books on tape.
Yeah, books on tape, dude. Yeah.
I wasn't alive in the 80s. I don't know.
Did you have books?
For all I know, they didn't have CDs then.
Oh, they did.
They did.
You should know this as a previous host of CD Consensus.
He went on her podcast, so he got to use her
they had podcasts
poems.
back then, yeah. It's also inspired by the rhythm of the 4/0 the 4/0 rhythm of Brazilian music. And that's why it's got some cool rhythm.
No, not that.
Yeah, I find it a little boring. I don't mind the flute sections though. It kind of reminded me of that Dino song by the Police.
That's not favorable.
The dinosaurs are dead.
I think this song is beautiful. I love the amazing vocal harmonies, the kind of the bells going on in the background, that Brazilian rhythm.
Yeah.
It's so low key and the synths are so smooth and it's so beautiful.
So the
simple hand drum beat, layered vocals, everything. There's also this like kind of guitar like noise that enters in the end, and there's just these little synth hits all over the track. That's so much intrigue. It's for such a slow song, there's so much to pull out of it. Like he really uses every single moment. I know that apparently he had to like wake up early to record the vocals.
Yeah, so the vocals are double tracked. So he double tracks and harmonizes with himself. But the lower register he had to do
in the morning
when his voice was fresh because he wasn't able to do it at night. But also it is below his normal register for singing.
It's quite low.
Originally this track was part of the song Don't Break the Rhythm, or sorry, Don't Break This Rhythm, which is the B-side to Sledgehammer, the single I have.
I want to do like an isolation tank listening to this song.
Oh, interesting. That is an interesting.
Oh, like a sensory deprivation?
Yeah, when you're like a float tank.
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to do one of those in general.
We should do that sometime.
Yeah, I'd be down.
That sounds like a great time, actually.
Sorry, they only do 2 pods at once.
I don't want to. I didn't say I want to go with you anyway.
I think can all 3 of us go in the same one?
We'll do 2 pods at a time. Jamie can we'll wait for you, Jamie.
You just stand outside and go home.
I'll just look through the window. I do this. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. The double track vocals are very pretty. The song is kind of sad, I guess. Like the tone of it is kind of downtrodden. The overall message is kind of downtrodden, I guess. But then we get into a really upbeat one. Big time. Bracketed success.
Hi there.
Hi there.
And then like the dorky ass distorted synth that sounds like it's on like a Game Boy Advance.
Would you believe that? Oh yeah, no,
played
that
on the
is,
Game Boy Advance. I would not. That didn't come out until 2002.
So the drums on this one are played by Stuart Copeland all the way through. Not just the hi-hat on this one. The bass line is really weird. Let's talk about that one real quick. So the bass line's great. Like the bass line makes Adam make a face. We found that out.
It's such a stank faceable bass line.
But it sounds like so the bass line sounds like a synth, but is 100% played live. So Tony Levin is playing the neck of the guitar. He is making the shapes of notes or like whatever. What am I trying to say? Like the chords? He is making the chords.
You're so freaking tired. He's played the neck of the guitar.
Jerry Marotta is hitting the strings with drumsticks. That is what the sound is. So
really,
two people
really
are
cool.
playing the guitar at the same time.
That's super clacky sound.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
So what I'm trying to say is that he is playing the neck part of the guitar, and Jerry Marotta is playing, and then the other hitting the guitar with sticks.
Do you want to apologize to Jamie for saying he's tired?
Well, no, he's not wrong. Tony Levin would want to do this live, so what he did was he came up with an attachment for his hands called funk fingers. Which are literally two sticks that go on your on your fingers.
Funk fingers.
Yeah, definitely Google it. This is
it looks so stupid.
It looks weird, dude. It looks like he's wearing drumsticks on his fingers because he is.
It is exactly that. Two tiny little drumsticks.
It's so gross when you see it on his hands.
But yeah. Anyway, Tony Levin markets that. Anyway, the song is about a guy who has an inflated self-worth.
Yeah, this song's okay.
Bell said it has like all the 80s tropes, and I think that's intentional.
Yeah, it feels like it could be anybody in the 80s song. The tune of the guitar, the choir gang vocals, it all comes together to be the most 80s song, which is fine. Maybe it's just the choir gang vocals and like the electric organ. I don't know. There's some solid backup singing during the verses, though.
The song kind of feels like Prince worship in a sense. It reminds me so much. It's like such a Princey kind of song.
Sure, I agree with that. Wow, that is a good song. Apparently, the original version that was recorded was slow, like a much slower pace. And Jerry Marotta said that the version that they originally recorded would never have been a hit. The song was his Peter Gabriel's second top 10 single on the Hot 100, peaked at number 8.
God, this song slaps. I love it so much. Make me want to shake on my butt. And also watch this claymation of Tony Levin playing Funk Fingers.
Oh, that's wild. This video is the video for the song is in the same style as Sledgehammer.
I feel like that's trying too hard. I bet you because this play came out after Sledgehammer,
much later,
and so they were trying to just like make lightning strike twice.
Sorry, when I say much later, I mean like as it came out way after the video.
In the months after the video for Sledge. So they're trying to have lightning strike twice.
Yeah, the video was also very popular. It didn't win any awards though, but the video for this song was released in 1987, not 1986. Bell, any more thoughts?
Nope.
I'm just happy we don't have to talk about This Is the Picture. Excellent Birds.
Instead, we get to talk about We Do What We're Told. Bracket Milgram's 37.
Yeah, this is a cool one. I like this. It's like a instrumental or interlude feeling song, but vocals do come in after a few minutes, or I guess couple minutes because it's not that long.
Almost.
Yeah, I could see why he wanted to end with this because I thought I messed up the order of what was replaced. Because I think this is a cool ending. I don't know what it is about it, but it feels very powerful and emotional, even though I don't know what it's referring to. And we all know I love ethereal vocals, and this has plenty of great ethereal vocalizing.
Oh man, that rising ooh,
it's
so good.
It's so beautiful.
It's a perfect length too. Like because there's not a whole lot going on, I feel like if it went on for too long, it'd be like, okay, just end it. But it ramps up at a really steady pace. It keeps adding stuff, and then it's over. And I was like, I like that.
Yeah, it's such a almost brooding sonic atmosphere, especially with that repeated chant of "We do what we're told," and it's just impeccable. And there's that rising vocal that fades in the background with the pulsing synth. It's such a cool sounding song.
So we talked about the Milgram experiment in university. I forget what class it was.
Oh, is this the prison?
No, this is a different
Milgram's
one.
37.
So the Milgram experiment pits a guy who is the control. So he's the person that's like observing it. And he tells the person who's labeled as the teacher to tell the student.
He's the shock people.
Yeah, he's the shocking people. So the experiment is there's a teacher. The teacher asks questions. If the student ever gets an answer wrong, he's supposed to shock the person. Like hit him with an electroshock.
Yeah.
But what the teacher didn't know in this experiment, or the person who was the teacher in the experiment.
Should I just read the summary?
Sure. I mean, you go ahead.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like Jamie's explanation.
I'm so hungry. It was a test to measure the willingness of study participants to obey an authority figure who instructed them to perform acts conflicting with their personal conscience. Participants were led to believe that they were assisting in a fictitious experiment where they had to
You have to
administer
read it slow enough that people can understand.
in which they had to administer electric shocks to a learner. These fake electric shocks gradually increased to levels that would have been fatal if they had been real. And they even had like a dude screaming.
Yeah, so the guy running the experiment and the learner or the student were actors, but the control subject was the guy administering the shocks. And the experiment was to see how far people would go, even if they knew that they were personally hurting someone. Like the guy who was being like supposedly shocked, there was no actual shock, was like howling. And so it turned out that a lot of the people that participated in the experiment were like greatly harmed by it. But what he was trying to figure out was how. This all happened around the same time as some of the Nuremberg trials, and like the trials of
this happened in the 70s.
So, no, this happened in the 60s. So it happened 6 months after the trial of Adolf Eichmann.
That's crazy.
Who had just been brought into Israel. So Israel put him on trial. But one of the things that he was trying to figure out was all these Nazis had said, we were just following orders. And so he wanted to figure out, like, how far can you get someone to just follow orders?
Yeah.
Far.
Well, it was crazy because they'd even have him go to the point where the person would stop responding.
Yeah.
So the actor would, like, instead of screaming after the shock, they wouldn't respond to a higher shock, implying that they have been killed.
Yeah, it'd be like, turn it up again.
And then it would be like, turn it up again. And people would do, and like 65% of people administered the full 450 volts.
Yeah, quote unquote. Yeah.
Just
which would have killed somebody. Yeah.
Just because they were told by a lab tech.
Yeah. So anyways, it's a weird, the ethics of the experiment are widely debated. But a lot of what we learned from it was that, man, if you were convincing enough, you could probably get someone to do anything.
Like Vinyl Record Podcast.
Yeah, like listen to this Vinyl Record Podcast. You got to keep listening. Anyway, let's
turn it up louder.
To 11.
Turn it up louder.
Lethal volumes of Vinyl Record Podcast.
Let's talk about the record itself. I have an original pressing. It's in pretty good shape. I would say that the sleeve is held up pretty well. It's not really that old. I mean, like if you think about it, I guess it's 40 years old now, but the jacket is pretty crisp on it. The front of it just has a picture of Peter Gabriel. There's no titling on it. The only titling on it you get is on the back, where it just says "So" and Peter Gabriel.
And the O is falling over.
The O is falling over. You get the track list in extremely small letters. You get an enormously large barcode, though, which I don't approve of. And then on the inside, you get this actually really nice jacket sleeve, which has lyrics on both sides. And then on Big Time, you'll notice that the lyrics at the end where he goes big, 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 and then it's like trailing off. They kind of trail off on the sheet. It's kind of cool.
What does have the lyrics for the first part of Sledgehammer? Where he's like, hey, hey, and no one knows what he says.
Hold on. Let's look at, flip it over. You could have a Big Dipper.
No, that's just the first line of the song. Right before he goes, hey, something got me. You could have a Big Dipper. And I was looking at the comments of the music video and everyone's like, what is he saying?
Hold on. You could have a steam train if you just lay down your tracks. You could have an aeroplane flying.
You're just reading. I mean, literally the first thing of the song. So if it's not on there, it's not on there.
Oh, it just says hair. Something. Yeah, it's not on there. Some do a dooey or something like that.
Yeah, I'm like, why would you leave that in the song?
I don't know.
It's enigmatic.
It's like a Time of Your Life by Green Day. It's like, just take out the failed start.
Or like James Blunt. He goes, my life is brilliant.
Yeah. It's like if Blink-182, you go, where are you? It starts with hello
I don't
there.
know. False starts are in a lot of songs. I don't know. The pressing itself it's a typical 80s pressing. It's kind of thin, but it sounds incredible.
I was gonna say your sleeve is in great condition.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That is. It doesn't even have ring wear, which is something you would notice on. Actually, what's funny is that the single, the maxi single I have, it doesn't have ring wear on it either. I paid. Well, I got all the Peter Gabriel records together in a lot from the local auction house. I paid. Hold on, I can tell you right now how much I paid for that. So for 12 records, I paid $24. So I paid $2 each for all.
Yeah, the math checks out on that.
Yeah, math checks out. So I paid $2 each for those. I would consider that an excellent value because now I have every Peter Gabriel album up from 1 through this one. Why don't you give us your thoughts, Mr. Bell?
I would love to. I'll keep it short. Peter Gabriel is a great singer, and a lot of the sounds of this album are cool, but just don't really land for me. I'm putting So by Peter Gabriel in the 26th spot under Patsy Cline's Greatest Hits and above Straight Out of Linwood by Weird Al. It's not bad. It just reminds me of other music that I'd rather listen to.
Mr. Adam.
Peter Gabriel, So. It's so good. I absolutely, having never really listened to Peter Gabriel too much, this has immediately inspired me to go dive into the rest of his catalog because I think this album freaking slaps. There's not a true misfire anywhere on the album. The production across the thing is beautiful, sounds incredible, super fun, funky, upbeat songs, powerful ballads, interesting atmospheres. It is really the whole package, and it is going in the 12th spot on the list under King Crimson's Red and above Dave Brubeck's Time Out.
Interesting. I kind of put it around that album too. So I put it in the number 6 hole between D'Angelo and the Vanguard's Black Messiah and Dave Brubeck Quartet's Time Out. I think it's a great album.
It's a great album.
It is an interesting listen through the 80s. It is propelled through my interest of Sledgehammer, but I like some of the other songs quite a bit as well. If you like this particular album, maybe listen to Peter Gabriel 1. It has Salisbury Hill on it, which is the song that, I don't know, you hear on the radio a lot, I guess. It has a really cool acoustic guitar intro and some... the rest of the album has some good inclusion of our friend Robert Fripp from King Crimson.
That man got around.
Yeah, buddy. Next week, we're listening to your pick, right?
No, Jake's pick. My pick?
No, your pick.
Oh, well, yeah, it's Wilco AM.
Yeah, we're listening to AM by Wilco.
I'll take another turn, though. It's totally fine.
Wilco AM. Yeah, it's the first Wilco album, the one that everyone forgets about.
Is the guy's name Roger Wilco?
No.
I used to use that software, though. It was better than TeamSpeak.
The
Ventrilo.
Wilco was short for, it's a military slang.
Yeah, Roger Wilco is.
Yeah.
I guess we'll learn about
I
it.
thought Roger
and
Wilco
come
was a
back.
guy.
Yeah, the lead singer of Wilco.
Yeah,
No.
Roger Wilco.
That's Jeff Tweedy.
Tweety?
Yeah.
Like the bud?
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I've never even heard of Wilco, so I'm
You
excited.
never heard of Wilco?
No, just
Never-
Roger Wilco.
You
That's
never
like,
heard
not
the
even,
song
like-
Pot Kettle Black, which is on
You don't like the, yeah, have you seen that? You've
GTA
almost certainly seen the album cover for Yankee Hotel Foxtrot.
Maybe.
Pot Kettle Black is on Guitar Hero 3.
What?
Okay.
There's a
It's-
Wilco song?
Yeah,
No,
it's on one of those. Yeah.
There's no Wilco song on Guitar Hero 3.
Is it in
It
Rock
might be
Band?
Guitar Hero 2. It's not on Rock Band either. I can tell you that it's
The only reason I know who Wilco is because one of those games.
I've never seen that before.
really so. This album is considered to be one of the best albums ever made.
And you picked a different one.
It's the one I picked, the one I owned, and I think the one that's underappreciated. And
Well, hey, it'll be regular appreciated by me, maybe. I'm excited to give it a listen. But Aftercare, we've...
sorry,
What are music videos that really stand out? What's one or two music videos that really stand out as like really, really good ones?
What is it? It's Bad Bad Not Good and Mick Jenkins. The song is called Drowning. Really cool music video.
What happens?
That's one off the top of my head.
What makes it so special?
It's very cinematic. The song's freaking awesome. It's kind of like the depiction of a slave escaping from captivity after trying to be drowned and killed. It's just quite an impressive, beautiful video. Let me pull up I got a whole playlist of good music videos.
Of good music videos? Interesting. I have good music, but not good music videos as a playlist. One that really stands out, I remember seeing it as a kid and being like, whoa, was Her Morning Elegance by Oren Lavie, which is stop motion of two people in bed. And then it's like the blankets and pillows like make up different areas and scenarios of them being like on a bus and on bikes and stuff like that. And I thought it was very, very cool. But now kind of feels very, when would that have been? 2009. It feels a little dated, but very, very cool. One of the first music videos I was like, whoa. Music videos, other than Californication. Because, man, that music video rocks.
Yeah. Maybe the video for Amish Paradise. That one always strikes me.
Mhm.
That is a pretty good video.
The What's My Age Again video is really good.
Mm-hmm.
That's one I really remember. The video for Into Deep by Sum 41.
I'm seeing a trend here.
Yeah, well, that's when I was watching music videos. I come home and I turn on Much Music, which is channel 29.
Aha, Take On Me.
Oh yeah,
Where he gets all
that's
pencil
really
drawn.
cool. Yeah, it's like it looks hand drawn, but it's not. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's cool.
The Apple HomePod Welcome Home that was directed by Spike Jonze.
Oh, that was good.
With FKA Twigs as a dancer. Honestly,
Oh,
FKA
right.
Twigs, any music video of hers is pretty good.
Yeah.
Any music video directed by Spike Jonze is also pretty good.
Oh, man. Any Wood Kid music video? So good.
Yeah.
Iron, I Love You, Run Boy Run. All fantastic.
The video for Basement Jaxx is Where's Your Head At?
Is that the one where it's like first person?
Isn't that the one with the monkey?
I mean, both those things could be true. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
There's definitely a music video for one of those classic EDM where it's first person and like goes to a party and all that stuff and
Yeah.
picking up chicks, and at the end they look in a mirror and it's a woman and you're supposed to be like, whoa, women can have fun too.
For the Jamiroquai video where the like the
Virtual
room is,
Insanity.
Yeah,
Man, that's a good
the
one.
room's moving around. Yeah, that's great.
So many good music videos, all better than Sledgehammer. But next week we'll listen to
Not as good as the hamster dance though.
Wilco's AM. Tune in. Let us know what you think. Leave comments. Leave suggestions. If we get enough suggestions, maybe we'll do a audience pick records episode.
If you're Belle's sister, chime in again and tell Belle he's wrong. I like reading those ones.
It's already been cut out.
No, she leaves the comments.
Shout out to Steph. Thanks for calling me earlier. Bye.